Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this morning? What a beautiful day that we have here. Oh man, you wouldn't believe it. We got a little bit of rain last night. And I laugh. I laugh. I shouldn't be laughing, but it was a little bit funny. It's my we in our nice little sunroom that we have. There's a beautiful beautiful carpet in there that that gets dirty. So it's the good part is it's an indoor outdoor carpet. So I think it's made out of recycled plastic or something. I don't know, some weird thing like that. But it's a nice little carpet, and it just gets dirty. My wife will take it out, drag it out onto the deck, and she'll hit it with a pressure washer, and gets all nice and clean and looks fresh. And guess what? I asked her last night. I was like, "Do you want to bring that in?" She was like, "No, no, I want it to dry out over the next, like tomorrow." Yeah, it rained last night. And it soaked it again, and we're supposed to get more rain again today. That's why I'm laughing because, well, you never life throws some weird stuff at you, so you might as well just enjoy it a little bit. JD fan, oh man, just you, me, you, and a dog named Boo. Yeah, to see you. Good morning, Emma's girl. Ah, yes, yes, yes. It was wonderful seeing you fine people. Oh my gosh, this was just a crazy, crazy weekend. Had so much fun hanging out over on the experts for Friday Night Live. Had a blast last night with Dictionary Diva and Volstorm and Kaiser Pineapple Welsh Lady Reads. And I have a story. It was a very fun night. If you haven't seen the stream from last night, it was a shorter version of what we'd rather of what we normally do. Usually we do about a 2-hour stream, but all my guests were just as tired as I was, and we all blame the expert. We figured out it's easier to blame him for our failings and misgivings about staying awake, staying up late into the wee hours of the morning. We'll just blame the expert for it. I mean, why not? No, no, no. We had a good time last night. It was fun. Oh, so what kind of news do we have this morning? Well, it is that time of year. You get these kinds of votes and things like that. And I've said this before. Be wary of the misinformation, disinformation. It's going to happen. Like, but why would they say AI can supercharge disinformation, disrupt EU elections? Experts warn. What experts? Are these AI experts? Are these people that know AI? I mean, here's the thing. I ask this because we don't know. They have said it for years. It's the experts. Exactly. Exactly. Not our own damn misgivings of staying awake into the wee hours. It was a great time last night, though. I had so much fun. I didn't expect it to be such a short stream, but I will tell you that it still hit. It still hit. And whatever you're talking about, we still don't know who it was that was after him. It was trying to take him down. Somebody was trying to take him down. That's all right. We'll have another one. We'll have another one coming up. You know that. We will. Oh my gosh. So in Brussels, the muscles from Brussels, voters in the European Union are set to elect lawmakers starting Thursday for the bloc's parliament on a major democratic exercise. You know what democratic exercise is? It's two wolves and a sheep sitting down and trying to decide what they're going to have for dinner. So I don't know if I like the whole democratic exercise. It's also likely to be overshadowed by online information. Really? Really? Online information. Oh, disinformation. There we go. Experts, it's always the experts. They have warned that artificial intelligence could supercharge the spread of fake news and could disrupt the election in the EU and many other countries this year. But the stakes are especially high in Europe, which has been confronting Russian propaganda efforts as Moscow's war in Ukraine drags on. Oh, really? So some 360 million people in 27 nations from Portugal to Finland, Ireland to Cyprus will choose 720 European Parliament lawmakers in an election that runs Thursday to Sunday. Now, you're telling me 360 million, 27 nations can complete an election from Thursday to Sunday. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In 4 days, they can complete an election. Yet we can't even complete one in almost 6 months. At least that's what it felt like. 6 weeks, whatever. We couldn't complete it then. There's something seriously wrong there. Oh, the first time we watched The Expert, I thought he had been hitting the devil's lettuce. And then after watching for a bit, I realized, no, that's just him. I love your new picture. That's awesome. That's awesome, Emma's girl. I love it. Love it. I love it. The big fear is deceiving voters will be easier than ever. Sure, enabled by new AI tools that make it easy to create misleading and false content. Some of the malicious activity is domestic, some is international. Russia is most widely blamed, and sometimes it's China. Even though hard evidence directly attributes such attacks as difficult to pin down. There you go. Morning, Donna Shepard. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Russian state-sponsored campaigns to flood the EU information space with deceptive content is a threat to the way we've been used to conducting our democratic debates. Well, democratic debates, that's the problem. He said Russia information manipulated efforts are taking advantage of increasing use of social media penetration and cheap AI assisted operations. Well, why not? Why wouldn't you use cheap AI? That's what I do. I try to use the free AI if at all possible. I absolutely try to do that. Bots are being used to push smear campaigns against European political leaders who are critical of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Would you like to have a name like Putin? What were you doing today? I was a Putin. There have been plenty of examples of election-related disinformation. 2 days before the national elections in Spain last July, a fake website was registered that mirrored one run by authorities in the capital, Madrid. It posted an article falsely warned of a possible attack on polling stations by the disbanded Basque militant separatist group, ETA. In Poland, 2 days later, before October parliamentary election, people descended on a polling station in response to a bogus bomb threat. Social media accounts linked to what authorities call Russian interference infosphere claimed this device had exploded. So, okay. So what's the goal of the disinformation? Experts and authorities said Russian disinformation is aimed at disrupting democracy by deterring voters across the EU from heading to the ballot boxes. Well, how would that really work? I mean, so all voters? It's weird. On a broader level, yeah, we like the broads. The goal of disinformation campaigns is often not to disrupt the election. It tends to be an ongoing activity designed to appeal conspiracy mindsets and erode the societal trust, she told Online Briefing last week. Oh, really? Is that what disinformation is supposed to do? Well, how come they haven't figured that out here in the US? That's what I'm curious about. If they're saying that that's what it's for, then why haven't they said that or here? What has changed? Oh, 5 years ago when the European Union election was held, most online disinformation was laboriously churned out by troll farms. Troll farms? Like, do they raise trolls or do they grow them? Do they pluck them? Do they pluck them from under the bridges? Says the risk of generative AI that they say threatens to supercharge the spread of election disinformation worldwide Malicious actors can be using the same technology that underpins easy to use platforms like ChatGPT to create authentic looking deepfake images, videos, and audio. Anyone with smartphones and devious mind can potentially create false but convincing content aimed at fooling viewers, like the AP. Damn. Like any other news organization, they can spread disinformation at a breakneck speed. Oh, I'm sorry. I was ad-libbing. That wasn't written here. Thank you, Donna. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. What is changing now is the scale that you can achieve as a propaganda actor, said Salvador Romano, head of research at AI Forensics, a nonprofit research group. Oh, okay. Well, let's look at AI AI forensics because I have a feeling. What is AI forensics? IBM researchers are developing AI text detection and attrition tool to make AI look more. It's IBM. Or oh wait, wait, let's see. There's a group here. They have a particular name. That didn't like me very much. Let's open it. Let's try that again. Woo. Let's do that again. Let's do this again. It's a AI or it's a European nonprofit. Okay, let's open it. Let's try this again. See if it gives me a hard time. There we go. This is AI Forensics. AI Forensics is a European nonprofit that investigates influential and opaque algorithms. We hold major technology platforms accountable by conducting independent and high profile technical investigations to uncover and expose the harms caused by their algorithms. We are digital detectives. We have been developing our own auditing tool since 2016, previously as Tracking Exposed. We empower the research community with tools, data sets, and methodologies to strengthen the AI audit ecosystem. Our evidence collection infrastructure has supported dozens of research projects and audits across multiple platforms, leading to tangible impact on tech regulations and strategic litigations. Our innovative data driven methodology provides journalists, research, and policymakers with timely evidence of systematic violations of users' interest in digital rights, particularly for minority groups and communities that are often overlooked in the design of technology. So there we have it. There we have it. They are left wing, like drastic left wing. What's up, Schomburg? Yo. So if they're talking about minority groups and communities, they're often overlooked in the design of technology. They're a left wing group, especially whenever you start hearing things like systematic. um, Shine a light on algorithmic injustices. Our mission is to promote transparency and accountability in the realm of influential algorithms. We aim to uncover and challenge algorithmic biases and harms to increase power and agency for the many, not the few. Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, these guys are full of garbage. At AI Forensics, we look behind the code. The origins. Oh, Claudio Agnosti and Mark Fodul. It builds upon the platform accountability activities of Tracking Exposed. Oh, well, what happened to Tracking Exposed? I wonder what happened. What happened to Tracking Exposed? What happened to Tracking Exposed? There we go. It just types it out right here. What happened to Tracking Exposed? Huh. Doesn't look like they Tracking Exposed. Ah, whatever happened to Tracking Exposed? Tracking exposed. Hmm. The company tracking exposed. What happened to it's still not giving me tracking exposed. Let's see. Google search for it. Ah. Oh, let's see here. Tracking exposed. Let's see if we can find out what oh, I don't know what the hell that is. What is some here we go. This is what happened with tracking exposed. So May 10th of 2023, October 11th update, new spinoff from tracking exposed experience, the reverse engineering task force. So what happened with them? Building is hard. Do it together. Please. Litigation is too slow. High profile press scrutiny works. Focus and leverages expertise. We have world class technology, a team of expert algorithm auditors. The changing landscape of algorithmic accountability. We have more awareness. Alternative platform increases stake. Oh, okay. So look at this. For the team behind tracking it says after 7 years of analyzing, exposing, and holding algorithmic power to account, the tracking exposed collective ended at the beginning of 2023 and completed the transition towards its new chapter, AI forensics, in May 2023. So in 2023, they went down. For the team behind Tracking Exposed is both sad and excited. Sad because our collective has achieved incredible things together, but we're closing Tracking Exposed in order to make way for a new chapter in our work on exposing and holding algorithmic power to account, which is in fact very exciting. Clearly, there's much work to do in this field, but since we started Tracking Exposed in 2016, the landscape has changed. We learned a lot about where and how to focus, the most effective way to conduct research, and build tools for a real new world impact. The adventure, well, let's see. The age of surveillance capitalism, data collection without consent was rife everywhere. Mastodon was still just an extinct elephant. Monolithic, monopolistic tech platforms such as Silicon Valley ideologies such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter had dominated our lives most uncritically for the best part of a decade. Cambridge Analytica, now famous infrastructure, was being quietly deployed in the British Brexit debate, but the consequences on Western political events was yet to unfold. This was written by freaking AI. Good Lord. The vision, Tracking Exposed, started as a free software analyst tool meant for activists and research working to expose digital tracking and online profiling was invisible, inescapable, and unaccountable. I believe that algorithms were social policies and therefore should be subject to public scrutiny. Build free software to investigate the platform. Let's see. The cons. It is complex to leak a platform decision with the profiles. It's expensive to reach a representative example. Evidences are so heterogeneous to start to be compared. Synthetic profiles are built to explore extreme conditions, and they might not be realistic. Synthetic profiles have no rights in the case you want to use evidence to litigate. Volunteers need to follow a dedicated set of actions, and this might reduce accessibility. Profiling politics, the early experiments we started with Facebook is the biggest, most problematic platform and focused on elections and political issues. What news was being shown to us on big platforms and what implications did that force information diet we have on our wider political systems? Our own experiments showed the power and limitations of the scraping, data donation, and sock puppet approaches. We were able to get information that showed how Facebook's algorithmic content decisions were shaping our information diet in 2017. French election, the Argentina G20 the same year, and the Italian 2018 election. Privacy International wrote about the findings. Meow. One shocking discovery that had only been suspected until we found the evidence was the existence of a list that Facebook created to determine what was credible news. Well, no shit. This was confirmed later by the 2021 book In Ugly Truth Inside Facebook's Battle for Domination. Yeah, we don't care because you guys just are left wing propaganda. However, it was clear our discoveries wouldn't change because if you really, really were something that was special, oh, crowdsourcing data exposed YouTube's algorithm. Yeah. Yeah. Think the most interesting part was teaching during the winter and summer schools of the Digital Method Initiative. Yeah. I don't buy this. Oh, they did a surprising Pornhub experiment. Great. Training the next generation of researchers. Nakano, litigating against the platforms. By 2019, we had overwhelming amount of evidence of nefarious platform behavior from our own research and that of the community of researchers we'd been building. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like boozy. Ah, with as many AI stories as you create, it's easy to tell when drivel like this was written by AI. Exactly. And that's all this company is they changed their name. Basically doing the same exact thing, but changed their name. So whenever they talk about what has changed, oh well, the company. Of course, they call themselves a nonprofit research group, but generative AI systems can now be used to automatically pump out realistic images and videos and push them out to social media users. AI Forensics recently uncovered a network of pro Russia pages it said took advantage of Meta's failure to moderate political advertising in the European Union. Fabricated content is now indistinguishable from the real thing, and it takes disinformation watchers' experience a lot longer to debunk. Well, why doesn't AP use these folks? I mean, if they're promoting them so much, why doesn't AP use this AI forensics? Hmm. It's a curious information. Curious information how social media companies are responding. So basically, they're just giving the same information that they did with their old company, which is to tell everybody, oh, well, it's all disinformation. Only believe what we tell you you're going to believe. And if you believe everything that we tell you to believe, you're going to be so much happier. So much happier. And if you don't understand this, all you have to do is look at the stupidness of people, of course. And if it takes an idiot like this to point this kind of stuff out, is you know, good on you, Melissa, because you're like a day late and a dollar short. Everybody knew this was garbage right here. A video shows President Biden trying to sit in a chair that wasn't there during a ceremony in Normandy, France, commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And you all seen the video. You've all seen the video. It's this right here. See? So he walks over and of course they cut right there. They cut right there. But they didn't show you the whole thing because he was waiting to sit down. He actually did take a seat. It wasn't as fake as everyone led on to be. That is where horrible disinformation comes from, is because you never see the whole thing in context. Yet there will be many people, still left, right, center, doesn't matter. They'll still be out there. They'll still be out there. And here's how you know. Here's how you know. So, what do you call it when someone hears the truth, sees the truth, but still believes the lie? Hmm, pretty funny. Pretty funny. What do you call it when someone hears the truth, sees the truth, but still believes the lies? That's one of your trivia questions. That's one of your trivia questions for today. Ah. The facts is World War II veterans gathered and blah, 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 blah. In the video, Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron shake hands while standing between their wives, First Lady Joe Biden and Brigitte Macron. The president then briefly looks over his shoulder, bends over, and hovers in that position as U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is announced as the event's next speaker. This is disturbing, reads one post. President Biden literally trying the invisible chair to sit in. It's also sad and disgraceful to those in attendance who desire to honor the brave men who died to protect our nation from tyrannical governments. And it says Biden is trying to sit in a chair that doesn't exist. The problem is that it intends to continue running for the presidential elections. But of course, there was a few people that got called out on this bull. There's a few people that are supposed to be, your oh, sense fitting milk toast kind of folks. That, oh, I'm a fence sitter. No, you're not. You're just as biased as the rest of us. I mean, whenever I saw that, I was like, ah, that's pretty funny. But how does it affect me? Him trying to sit in a chair. Progressive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, someone was eating crap with rainbow sprinkles in that line of BS. Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what that was. It was just a big line of BS. It was garbage. It was really nothing but garbage. Well, speaking of a large big bit of garbage, we've got large chunk of Wyoming's Teton Pass road collapses. Unclear how quickly it will be rebuilt. I think this big pass, it was just boob window. That's all. It's just a boob window. Hey Carlos, welcome. Glad you could be here. Glad you could make it. Oh my God. Jackson, Wyoming. A large chunk of twisting Mountain Pass Road collapsed in Wyoming, authorities said Saturday, leaving a gaping chasm in the highway and severing a well-traveled commuter link between small towns in eastern Idaho and the tourist destination of Jackson. Aerial photos and drone video of the collapse show now the Teton Pass Road riven with deep cracks and a big section of the pavement disappeared altogether. Part of the guardrail dangled into the void, and orange traffic drums marked off the danger area. The road was closed off at the time of the collapse. The section that failed first drew attention Thursday when a crack and a drop in the road contributed to the crash of a motorcycle. Geologists and engineers who were sent to the area that day noticed that the crack and that drop started to move a lot. Oh, moving. The spokesperson for District 3 of Wyoming Department of Transportation, the paving crew temporarily patched the road and began moving again that night. But that was short-lived as maintenance crews were sent to respond to a mudslide a couple of miles away in the pre-dawn hours of Friday, prompting the road to be closed once again. Crews then noticed that the damage to the pavement had become more pronounced. Workers trying to figure out a detour around that section left for the night. And by 5 a.m. this morning, WARDOT had discovered that the road had completely failed, Harsha said Saturday. We were very lucky that no crews were harmed. No equipment was damaged, she said. Now engineers and geologists are doing geological assessments on the pass. They've been looking at it all day. They've been looking at the pass, saying, what is up with this pass? We can't figure out. Something up high fell down something low. We don't know what happened. Here's a wonderful idea that you might want to give a try to. Maybe build a bridge. That's what bridges are for. Because you didn't have good foundation. That's why it collapsed. It's amazing. You can blame it on climate change. Climate change has crumbled a mountain, or just natural geological crap has happened. Wow, you know what? I don't even have to be a geologist to look that up and see what happened. Shit fell down. You built it upon sandy ground, and the ground underneath was not solid enough. Good morning, Aaron Olivia. Good morning. Good morning. The Transportation Department said via social media that the road catastrophically failed at milepost 12.8. It was not immediately clear how long it will take to reopen the road, a vital artery for people who live across the border in Idaho and work in pricey Jackson. Wait. So is this the same area? Now I'm just curious about this. Now here comes the conspiracy part of me. Here comes the conspiracy part of me. So you ready for Brenda? You ready for the conspiracy? Now, is it part of Idaho, that little area? Um, aren't they trying to join with Wyoming? Isn't that like they're wanting to incorporate that area? Hmm. So I wonder what happened. Are they trying to cut them off from going to Wyoming? Saying, listen, you need us, Idaho. You need us, Wyoming. Hmm. I don't know. Conspiracy. So it's not immediately clear how long it will take. Oh, yeah. So there you go. A vital artery for people who live across the border in Idaho and work in Pricey Jackson, which is also close to the popular Grand Teton National Park. Harsha said an alternative route between Jackson and the area of Victor, Idaho, goes more than 60 miles out of the way. Ooh, and adds quite a bit to any commute. Governor Mark Gordon signed an executive order declaring an emergency, which his office said would help the state access additional resources from the Federal Highway Administration to begin repair work. In a statement, the governor said the Transportation Department is working on a long-term solution to rebuild this critical roadway. I recognize the significant impacts this closure has to Teton County residents, regional commuters, and their local economy. Mm. Well, 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 well. There is something, there's something new that I'm going to cover. Something really new I'm about to pull up here. But before I do that, we're going to give you a little bit of a coffee break and we will be right back. So grab your cup of coffee. Enjoy this new one I've been working on. Let's see how it goes. I will be right back. Get some more coffee. Just so you know, I haven't gone away, but this is my coffee break music here. Get yourself a cup.
A morning sun, it's a brand new day. Gotta shake the sleep, gotta find my way to the kitchen where the coffee's hot. Take a little break, give it all I got. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Stepping out of bed, feel the reggae beat. Shuffle to the kitchen, moving my feet. Coffee's calling, got that morning vibe. Wake up the soul, feeling so alive. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. On the way to the brew, take a bio break. Freshen up my mind, for goodness sake. Wash away the dreams, face the brand new light. With the coffee in hand, everything's alright. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Gotta get the coffee, start a brand new day. Whiz, get up, it's time to ride. Whiz and Coffee, sweet harmony. Down in the kitchen, beans are on the grind. Whiz is humming to the streaming time. The aroma's rising, filling up the air. Cup of Java magic, every funky beat. Whiz is ready to take on any feat. Whiz is ready to take on any feat. Rise and groove, yeah, rise and groove. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and groove, yeah, rise and groove. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Whiz and coffee, sweet harmony.
My balls are tingling. Yeah, my balls are tingling.
Good morning, all. Good morning. Coffee, coffee, coffee. That's a morning booty shake song. Your hubby is on a work trip for the next 10 days and you have to make your own coffee. Really? All alone by yourself? Aaron, shame. Shame. That's what happens when we watch this show. Oh, little booty shake, huh? It's been a while since you've seen your brother. Nice to know he's driving a sharp-looking golf cart. I love it. I love it. Oh, far-right gains in the EU election deals stunning defeats to France's Macron and Germany's Schulz. Ooh. So, far-right parties rattled the traditional powers of the European Union and made major gains in parliamentary elections Sunday, dealing an especially humiliating defeat to Emmanuel Macron. On a night where 27-member bloc palpably shifted to the right, Italian Prime Minister, I'm not even going to try to say that, Melanie, more than doubled her seats in the EU Parliament, and even if the alternative for Germany, extreme right party, was hounded by scandal involving candidates, it still rallied enough seats to sweep past the slumping Social Democrats of Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Huh. But what was the outcome of all of this? Now, I'm not into all the European politics, but this to me right here sounds pretty freaking bad. Because Macron dissolves the French parliament and calls a snap election after defeat in an EU vote. Like, what the F is that? So this happened right after Normandy, the big anniversary of it. So what exactly happened here? See, I'm not into EU politics, and I'm sure there's some people here from the EU that could probably inform me what the hell is going on, but this to me does not sound like a good thing happening. Oh, yeah. Aaron Olivia's like, wait, what just happened? What? Huh? What? Yeah. Yeah, what just happened? Imagine this, if you will. If Macron is doing this, just imagine what all the Biden cronies will do if they lose. Do you think they would go so far as to do something like this, to dissolve the Congress and call for a snap election after they lose? Not saying they will, but maybe it becomes normalized that they do this. So, in Paris, Emmanuel Macron dissolved the lower house of France's parliament in a surprise announcement, sending voters back to the polls in the coming weeks to choose lawmakers after his party was handed a defeat by the European elections on Sunday. The legislative elections will take place in 2 rounds on July 30th and July 7th. The announcement came after the first projected results from France put the far-right National rally party, well ahead of the European Union's socialist Democrat Party. See, they don't tell you that. Handing a chastening loss to Macron's pro-European centrists. They're not centrists. They're socialists. Marine Le Pen's anti-immigration nationalist party, no, anti-illegal nationalist party was estimated to get around 31 to 32% of the votes, a historic result from more than double the share of Macron's Renaissance party, which was projected to reach around 15%. Macron himself wasn't a candidate in the EU elections, and his term as president still runs for 3 more years. He said the decision was serious, but showed his confidence in our democracy. Really? There's confidence in your democracy if you're pulling this shit right here. Sorry, French Parliament, dissolving the French Parliament and calling for a snap election after you got defeated. How is that democracy? Oh, that's right. That's how democracy works. It is in the latest legislative elections in 22, Macron's centrist party won the most seats, but lost its majority in the National Assembly, forcing lawmakers into political maneuvering to pass bills. Oh my. Speaking of passing bills, I mean, we've only got one that can pass bills.
Hey, Riding Hood, want to be eaten by the big bad wolf?
Fuck you, new bomb.
I love it. How you do?
Oh man, just I'm driving to court.
Oh well, yeah. I figured you were probably driving to court. If you're on this early in the morning, say, yeah, you're driving to court.
Yeah. I've only got almost 3 hours left.
So does this make a whole lot of sense to you that Macron just basically said I'm going to dissolve the French Parliament and call for a snap election because they got defeated?
Well, I mean, they can do that there, but I think it's a gamble. I think he's trying to save any shred of legitimacy left because he got his ass kicked. His party did.
Yeah.
So, but I love how it's like extreme right, and it's like anything right of Stalin is extreme to these people.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, this is so insane that he did this, though, and it worries me that they will normalize this. The AP is normalizing.
Well, we can't. You can't do it. So that's something that can happen here.
You're in a bad spot.
They have a little different kind of.
You're breaking up.
Is it any better?
You went through a bad cell.
Just a minute.
You're back.
Okay. So there's not a mechanism for it here. And then they have different parliamentary rules and shit over there. So they can,
well, they have different.
There's no mechanism for dissolving Congress here.
You sure?
There's no mechanism for that. Yes.
You mean like a government saying we're shutting everything down? There's no mechanism for that.
Well, that's different. That's different than dissolving it and holding new elections.
Well, what about a time of war?
Because what he's doing is saying we're going to hold new elections in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There's no mechanism for that. To say we're shutting it down and everybody's kicked out and we're going to have new elections. Now the people should be able to do that.
Well, people should be able to do that, but what do you think the chances are of people being able to do that?
But the president can't. The president has no authority to do that.
He can't declare a state of an emergency and shut everything down.
Well, they can do that, but they can't say we're going to hold new elections. Everybody in Congress is gone, and we're going to hold new elections.
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
If they shut Congress down, shut Washington down, the damn economy is going to boom because they're not fucking things up.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So
I was just saying
that would backfire on Biden so fast.
But there are means for him to be able to shut things down.
But he
we've
can't
already
dissolve Congress and hold new elections. Say, yeah, I don't like this. We're just going to kick everybody out and hold new elections. He can't do that.
we would hope not, but there's also
he
a lot
can't.
of things that you say you can't do, but they did anyway.
I understand, but there is zero mechanism.
They say that
that is
they
something
can't
that
take
has
away your.
never been
They
done.
say, well, they say they can't take away your First Amendment or your Second Amendment, but they're damn well trying.
I understand.
They just find a way around.
It would get shut down. It would get shut down by the courts before they can even think about attempting.
Well, and if you have the power of the military behind you, what's going to stop you from doing?
Military's not going to go. The military's, because that would be an absolute unconstitutional order for him to try to do that.
Of course,
So the military's not going to enforce that.
Tell me when he's done things that are constitutionally correct.
Well, I mean,
I'm saying he's already been shut down by the courts. It didn't stop him from doing it. He already had people say they didn't want to send money to Ukraine, and they still did it anyway.
But that's on Congress. He can't send a penny over there if Congress doesn't authorize it.
Yeah, I know.
Congress,
I don't trust
the majority Republican. He can't spend a penny that the House doesn't authorize. So the House is to blame, and that's led by Republicans. They shut the government down. We're not sending money over there.
Exactly. Oh, wow. There are laws preventing it. Yeah. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to break the law. They've been breaking the law for years.
Also laws against voter fraud and shit that they pulled 4 years ago, but it's up.
Yeah, you don't see a single one getting prosecuted for it. Just saying. Just saying. We've seen them do illegal crap before, and they're getting away with it.
I don't know. I've been too busy shitting his pants, I think so.
Well, and I showed you the disinformation on that. He was trying to sit down. He was just hesitant.
You can see him stop and look over and at his wife and grunt. I mean, he's pushing. I'm sorry.
No, he was sitting down. I showed the video. I showed the whole video. He was sitting down.
I've seen the whole video. I've seen the whole video. And if that was the case, there'd be no reason to whisk him away that quick with him waddling and shuffling his feet.
No, it was a while before they whisked him away.
Well, because everybody started complaining.
No, I mean, I pulled up the whole thing of him sitting there. He was sitting there for quite some time after all the speech and everything. He was there. That was a long time for that old creature of disgustingness to be there. You know? I mean, I'm not saying that I like the guy. I'm just saying that, you know, the video shows a little different what exactly happened.
I don't know.
Because him sitting there,
I put nothing past our media to run cover for him.
Oh yeah.
So Occam's razor, this most simple explanation is generally the correct one. And it said he shit his pants. So
pretty much.
When they're all out there, no, he didn't. That's when you know he did.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's he did it in front of the Pope.
Yeah.
A year or two ago. I think I think we've heard it too.
I think I would probably, do that in front of the Pope. Why not? I mean, just so I could say I did.
This Pope deserves it sometimes. So.
I know, that's what I'm saying. YouTube chat is messing up. I don't know. Risa, is it messing up?
Oh yeah, because YouTube says so.
Mad Englishman. Everything is so wet now. Real late rain last night. Oh, look at that. Might have to leave. Sun is shining. Plants need tending. Hey, nothing wrong with that. And I say this. Yeah, trim those bushes. Mm-hmm. Get in there and make sure you get all the weeds out of those bushes, all the dirtiness out. So it does really amaze me though that he shut that crap down.
Well,
Like-
I mean, he's gambling that people aren't going to know who to vote for within the next few weeks. He's gonna end up getting. I mean, he's still in for another couple of years, but I think he's hoping to hang on to have a little bit more power than he probably will. Because I think if he gets blasted locally, like they did there, then they're just going to essentially he won't have any power, anything. They'll tie his hands every turn, which is what needs to happen.
Right.
But
and here's and I said this earlier, is like, you're never wrong when you give people to say EU election projections are also showing the resurgence of the Socialist Party. No, you think? It never went away.
No, the Socialist Party has been in charge of Europe for decades.
Yeah. How are they saying it's a resurgence? But here's what they're campaigning on: ambitious climate policies and protections for European businesses and workers. It's all about the worker.
Oh, yeah, right.
Reacting to Macron's announcement,
sounds kind of socialist to me.
Yeah, far left. It does. Far left politician Francois Ruffin called on all leaders from the left, including the Greens, to unite under a single popular front banner to avoid the worst.
Yeah.
France is electing 81 members of the European Parliament, which has 720 seats total. And what is amazing to me, whenever I first pulled this up, it had to do with this: that they in 4 days they get 320 million people voting in 27 countries. In 4 days, they can complete an election for the European Union.
Oh yeah.
Yet we can't complete one in 6 months, because they had to go back and do recounts and double counts and overcounts and undercounts and triple counts, and
they don't allow the mail-in ballot shit, which to me shouldn't be allowed at all, unless it's an absentee ballot where it's being notarized being witnessed by two people. I did that when I was in law school. I in 08, I did absentee, and I had to have two people stand there and watch me seal it. Put it in the envelope and seal it up, and they signed off on it, and they have to provide all kinds of proof that you are who you are.
Yeah.
This other mail-in ballot stuff is completely unconstitutional. But they don't do that. They don't do mail-in stuff.
No. They don't play that. Shizzy, thanks for helping my night be more tolerable after getting your rotten MRI results. Y'all helped me last night.
No.
Helped Sydney Snyder a touch. Well, whatever we're just here having fun, and we're appreciative that you can come by and have fun too. And bad news is always bad news. Just hate it.
Last night, I caught some of that last night.
We were having fun. That was one of the shorter ones that we did, but all of us.
Yeah, I had to cut out as I was picking my daughter up from a birthday party. So I was like, man, she can't listen to this.
She can't listen to this.
No way. She's not even 8 years old.
It is clearly labeled not appropriate for kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have been in the car when Megan Fox plays her the squats, like the fat shaming from Nick Rekieta.
Yeah. The
little clip that she plays. Oh God, they were cracking up. And so like several times we're like, can we listen to the guy make fun of fat people? And I'm like, no.
No.
I think, no, we can't listen to that anymore. They're like, let's listen to that again. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Volster was right. May not be appropriate for the kid, especially whenever you get Volstrom talking about his pudding pops.
Pudding pops.
It's like the kids are going, we want pudding pops, and it's like, no, you don't. You really don't. You want a little popsicle? Le Pen was delighted to accept the challenge. We're ready to turn the country, ready to defend the interests of the French, put an end to mass immigration. Oh, basically, they want to get rid of illegals. That's
well, it's not just the illegals. I mean, their government is bringing them in.
Yes,
because the immigrants that are coming over are absolutely, literally destroying the country.
Well, and they're allowing him to vote too. They don't like it.
It's going to be a repeat of what happened about 700 years ago,
Yeah,
800 years ago, 1,000 years ago.
it's just history.
It's going to be a
repeats
repeat
itself.
of it to drive certain groups out of Europe.
And it's just France and elsewhere. The defeat of the Greens could well have an impact on the EU's overall climate change policies. EU lawmakers who serve a 5-year term say they in issues from financial rules to climate and agricultural policy. Now, I will say that they do in France, they do have some good agricultural policies, where for not overburdening on one aspect of any particular crop. Like, say for example, if corn was worth, $100 a bushel and potatoes were worth like 50 cents per bushel here in the US, they would just plant all the freaking corn and not even worry about the potatoes.
Yeah.
Now in France,
Well, no, the government would subsidize the potatoes and would bring up the price. Pay the farmers. They'll pay the farmers not to plant potatoes for a year or two.
Right. But in France, they don't do that. In France, they say this is what you're growing. Like whenever you apply to become a farmer, they dictate how much of whatever product is going to be going out. It works well for like sales and things like that, where people don't like go overburden the system with too much stuff that never gets sent anywhere, and they sort of equalize it all out. It is a good not saying that it's a great one, because bad shit can happen whenever you do that, and it doesn't promote any sort of capitalism whatsoever.
No,
but it does
socialist.
Work out. Right. It does work out that you get a good level of things that grow. Like they ramped up their planting of mustard seed, because France gets almost all of its mustard from Ukraine. Like, they don't grow it themselves. They ship it in from Ukraine. So whenever the war started happening over there between Russia and Ukraine, they couldn't get any of that mustard. So they were just running low on all that stuff. So they boosted up production in that country. Like, any imports, it makes it easier for them to boost those particular crops, and this is why a lot of people don't want to live in France, because it's so shitty. I wonder how this affects my mother-in-law. She's planning on moving there. Yeah, it's weird. Like, just I don't know. It makes no sense to me. EU lawmakers who serve a 5-year term say in issue from financial rules to climate and agricultural policy, they approve EU budget which bankrolls priorities including infrastructure profits, farm subsidies, and there you go, the aid delivered to Ukraine. And that's why France wants to send aid over to the Ukraine, is because they get all kinds of stuff from them. The elections come at a testing time for voter confidence in a bloc of some 450 million people over the last 5 years. The EU has been shaken by the coronavirus pandemic, an economic slump, and an energy crisis fueled by the biggest land conflict in Europe since World War II. What? What land conflict?
What a couple of small areas.
Oh, you're talking about Ukraine being some sort of land conflict? But political campaign office focuses on the issues of concern in individual countries rather than on broader European interests. Well, EU screwed up France's economy. Like, it screwed it up really bad. Like, the EU came in and told France, for climate change, to tear down all of this shit that the farmers had built up over years to keep like land erosion from happening, You know,
Oh, yeah.
it was just to keep the flow of water going in a good way. So what they did is they said, tear all this stuff down. It needs to be smooth. We need to get rid of, you know, all of this colonizing of France, you know, because it hurts the dark people, and we got to do all of this stuff. And EU like forced France to do all this shit. Well, what happened was that after a period of time, and they paid a lot of money to have this stuff like completely scraped. Come to find out, the farmers were a little smarter, you know, back in the day, and they actually had set up the land in such a way that it would promote, you know, good growth. And so the EU ended up having to come back, and now they're paying people that they previously paid to tear shit up to like build it back up the way that it was before. I'm like, you guys are idiots. See, big difference between France and EU. Whenever you let a conglomerate of people dictate how you're going to do things, you're going to run into problems. You know, not and what I saw this yesterday. It was pretty cool. This guy had something wonderful to say, and I'm gonna bring that up because he's speaking truth on this, which I thought was, you know, it's a rarity that we can get this kind of information. Check this guy, he's always has some good takes on it.
Here's how I would fix how fucked up the United States Congress is with 5 simple rules. The first rule obviously being term limits. The people in Congress should be just like the president. They are only allowed to serve 2 terms. Then they can make way for someone else who has something else to say. Rule number 2, congressmen and women are paid the median salary of the state they represent. If a congressman or woman wants to make more money, they need to take action to raise the median salary of the people in their state. This will immediately guarantee that they understand the people they represent. And I know people are going to say that would be hard to do because they have to go back and forth between Washington and their state. That leads me to rule number 3. No more traveling to Washington, and also no overseas travel paid by the taxpayer. Now, how will we accomplish this? Easy. We all know what fucking Zoom is. It is 2024. There is no fucking reason for our representatives to be traveling to Washington. There is no reason they have to meet in the same fucking room. You just install big ass iPads on each chair and they can talk it out over Zoom. It's fucking insane that we are paying for our representatives to travel all the way across the country just to fucking vote. All we need is big ass iPads, secure push button voting technology, and video conferencing technology. 3 things we already have. As for the overseas travel, there is zero fucking reason for a representative from Idaho to have to go to Paris on official business. They are not foreign dignitaries. They are not part of some international Peace Corps. They are representatives of their state, so they need to stay in their fucking state. Now, if they want to go overseas on vacation, that's fine. They can pay for it themselves. But there's absolutely no fucking reason taxpayers should be footing the bill for representatives or senators to fly overseas. Now, without them traveling all over the place, that's going to free up a lot of time. And that'll lead into rule number 4, which is single issue bills only. Any bill that's submitted to be voted on can only be about one single issue. There is no fucking reason a veterans benefit bill should have anything unrelated to veterans in it. It should be putting up one issue at a time, voting on one issue at a time, and passing or not passing one bill at a time. Want more money for Ukraine? Put up a bill that is just the Ukraine funding. Don't combine it with some bill giving benefits to old people to try to make everyone feel bad and vote yes. If a bill or an issue can't pass on its own merits, then it doesn't need to be passed. And lastly, rule number 5. Anytime a member of Congress speaks to the media or the American people, it is automatically assumed that they are under oath and can be charged with perjury for lying to the American people. And if through a jury of their peers, preferably that jury should also be made up of the residents of the state they represent, they will be immediately removed from office. And that's it. 5 rules to unfuck Congress.
What do you think?
It'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. I
could see some travel to Washington. I mean, you do have some, you know, some of the high level classified, you know, congressional committees that would need to be able to meet in a secure room because Zoom is not secure. So yeah, I can see some of that, but you know, there should be I absolutely need to get back to that should not be a career. They should not be there for 6, 5, 6, 8, 10 months out of the year. It should be, go back to meeting twice a year.
And I agree with him on, you know, they should be
Single
paid
subject.
what the votes. Yeah. Yes. And also these people should be paid what their median income is of their state. If they don't like it, then increase the median income of your state. And it would change the way that these people vote on a lot of these issues instead of them, walking out of Congress after serving, 20, 30 years, with a cushy, paycheck that's paid for by the taxpayers. And if they only serve one term, they're still getting a paycheck.
Yep.
Like after they've been booted out of office, they're still getting paid. Like it's ridiculous. They've worked themselves into just graping the economy.
Oh yeah.
I always wanted to see one of these because I had never seen this before. It is this right here. I saw this earlier and I thought it would be really cool to know what happens whenever somebody does something this stupid crazy. SUV.
Holy shit.
Yep. That I was like, what the? I mean, that's not a fake either. That's insane. It's crazy. Oh God. Here we go. So I've got this one here. So the main takeaways after the far right rocks European politics, sparking a snap election in France.
Far right.
Oh yeah. A 4-day election has shaken the foundations of the European Union with far right rocking ruling parties in France and Germany, the bloc's traditional driving forces. Oh, really? So Germany and France are the driving forces.
Yeah.
So in Italy, the party of the Prime Minister Meloni, which has neo-fascist roots, won more than 28. What? Okay, the national vote in the EU Assembly, which would make it a key player in forming future alliances. Neo-fascist. What would be a neo-fascist?
I don't know.
I don't either. Dude. It's almost as wild as the tow truck ramp. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tammy Bugard. Hi, good to see you. Oh, what is this? Don't poke fun, Shizzy. It was a free donut day. That's nice. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think of Experts little clip.
MG Law is a fake lawyer, and he drinks his beer through a plastic multicolored straw. Well, you know what?
Saying it's how I don't.
Okay.
Well, you don't drink through a straw, do you?
No, and I don't drink beer, so.
Well, there you go. There you go. Now, don't you feel more informed now?
I don't like them sissy sticks.
Them sissy sticks. He's like, hello, Brandon. Howdy. Well, thank you, Brandon, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And don't poke too much fun at MG.
Brandon?
We like MG over here, and don't make me get out his throwing arm. Of course, it's gotten old and decrepit now. Because he tries to throw, and he just starts stumbling around like because he can't seem to keep his groin from pulling.
Oh man. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. It should become clear by mid-July whether a weakened Macron will be forced to work with a far-right government in uncomfortable cohabitation. How can it be uncomfortable? I mean, seriously.
Because
how
he's so far left that even if even if they're more, I guarantee you that group is more centrist than they are far right, neo-fascists.
Yeah. And how is it going to affect him? I doubt it's going to affect him at all. But it's a good way for him to make an excuse every time that something screws up. Because of their far right politics. And that's the same way that they do here in the US. Oh, it's the far right politics. It's the far right that causes it. It's far right. And the same way that you get whenever you've got the opposite party in power, they're going, it's the far leftists. They won't let the votes pass. That's why we need to have. Wrong lawyer. Don't sue me. His shoulders are better than mine. Hey, Corn Pope. Good to see you. How you
Hey,
doing?
Corn Pope, what's up?
I have not seen Corn Pope in forever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so good to see you back around. Gosh, so wonderful. Yeah, Greens and liberals take a hit, as they should, probably to the
Yeah.
face. What's next? Senior party officials and number crunchers are meeting Monday to work out what kind of groups and alliances might be formed in the parliament for the next 5 years. Party presidents will hold their first formal talks on Tuesday. One thing is clear: the results will slow decision making and passing of legislation on issues ranging from climate change to farm subsidies. EU presidents and prime ministers will hold a summit on June 17 to take stock
All
of
these
the
socialist,
results.
all these socialist things are gonna be slowed down. Oh darn!
Isn't that wonderful? How is that a bad thing?
Well, it's bad for them, for their party.
Well, that's why they've been slamming it as much as they possibly can. And we covered our next story last week, which was South Korea resumes broadcasting anti-North Korea propaganda at border in response to more of their shit balloons. South Korea resumed broadcasting its anti-North Korean propaganda through loudspeakers on border areas Sunday in retaliation for more than 1,000 trash and shit-filled balloons in North had sent over the last couple of weeks. Hours later, the powerful sister of North Korea leader Kim Jong-un warned that the South created a prelude to a very dangerous situation. She said South Korea would witness an unspecified new response from the North if it continued with the broadcast and fails to stop civilian activists from flying anti-North Korean propaganda leaflets across the border. I would sternly warn Seoul to immediately cease with its dangerous activities that would further provoke the crisis of confrontation, Kim Jong said in a statement.
Got some leaflets we can drop. I think Hiroshima and Nagasaki got some of those about 8 years ago.
Yeah, didn't they?
Yeah. Let's just tell them if he feels froggy, jump, and we'll turn that peninsula into an island.
Yeah.
So South Korea said since high school. Let North Korea let them go. They're feel froggy, let them jump.
Yeah.
There won't be a problem anymore.
No.
They're not that stupid.
Yeah.
He's not going to do anything because he wants to retain his power. He wants to live.
Yes. Uh-huh. That is exactly what it is. Well, and all, that's about all that they can do is like the South's military, which has mobilized chemical rapid response and explosive clearance units. Sorry, that just sounds like diarrhea to me. To retrieve the North Korean balloons and materials, alerted the public to beware of falling objects and don't touch the balloons found on the ground, but report them to police or military authorities. Don't touch that shit. Stay away. Legal Vices just got home and came home to a message about being careful for balloon trash. I know. Yeah, he had a flyer about the shit balloons. I know, that's why it's so funny. I covered this stuff last week. You think they're gonna stop? No, this is too funny. Oh my god. A South Korean civilian group led by North Korean defector Park Sang-hak said it launched 10 balloons on Thursday carrying 200,000 anti-North Korean leaflets, USB sticks with K-pop songs and K-dramas, and $1 bills.
They need to be sending in some 1911s and Glock 40s and a bunch of ammunition so the people there can fight back.
Exactly. South Korea, oh my God. South Korea media reported another activist group also flew balloons with 200,000 propaganda leaflets towards North Korea on Friday. I mean, that is a hell of a war. I mean, back in the day, they used to just fling, dead carcasses of your enemy across the walls.
I'm not promoting conspiracy and mass murder, Brandon. Helping the North Korean people fight back against depression. Just imagine if the North Korean government had to worry about an armed citizenry.
Oh yeah. I mean that's one thing that keeps our US government in line. And they go, oh, well, you'd be no competition against the military. Do you know what would happen if
Yeah, right.
if the government pulled that kind of crap? How fast the military, your local military is called, your National Guards would be activated, and how many of these people go, I'm not going against my own citizens. These are people from my own country. Like my duty was to uphold the Constitution. This is so unconstitutional. I am not backing my citizenry. But there's quite a few that probably would, because there's sick bastards in there. Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I was gonna
I've
say
already
said the 99 red ship balloons.
see. The thing is, Wicked Wookie, you cannot swap the lyrics of 99 Luft Balloons. I've already created a song, though. I do have a song on the YouTubes for this.
99 red. You can't
It
change
is 99
the
poop
song?
balloons. No, but I do have a song called 99 poop balloons. I'm dead serious. It's on my playlist. Oh my god. So this is where we come to this one right here. Is U.S. allies clash with China and Russia over North Korea's launches and threats to use nukes. Oh. So this is from the United Nations. The United States and allies South Korea and Japan clashed with China and Russia Friday over North Korea's latest satellite and ballistic missile launches and threats to use nuclear weapons that have escalated tensions in Northeast Asia. I don't think, see, this is why it's so scary hearing crap from the United Nations, because I don't trust the propaganda that they're saying.
Oh,
You broke up.
Yeah, I went through a bad spot.
Yeah.
But I don't trust anything the UN does.
Been using a bit to generate the songs for your game streams. Hey, that is nothing wrong with that. Like the one that I've gotten here for my little break. Like that one was AI generated. Like this one right here, just this song.
A morning sun, it's a brand.
Yeah, that one right there, that was AI generated. I thought it was pretty neat. Since the beginning of 2022, they call it the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Isn't that fun? Call it the Democratic Peoples. And they call it
So you see what happens when you get Democrats in power.
UN Assisted Secretary General Claude, I'm going to try to say that name, but the DPRK is expressly prohibited from conducting launches using ballistic missile technology. That hasn't stopped them.
That's stopped him before.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, this world police that people think that we should be are idiots. Like, the U.S. needs to stay away from this kind of stuff unless it's an ally. If we've made an ally out of someone, then we should be doing everything that we can to possibly protect them from enemy forces. But we can't even protect our own damn borders. And you notice how fast all the border shit has gone away. You notice they're not talking anything about that this week.
Oh no!
Like as soon as it all blew up in the Democrats' face, the AP does not even report on anything about this. Like, it blew up on their face whenever Trump went to Eagle Pass. And of course, immediately Biden was like, I need to go to the border also. And he went to Brownsville. They were like, oh, we had this thing set up
he goes to Brownsville a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. He does go to Brownsville quite a bit. Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome. A nice healthy walk is good. Yeah, make sure you don't have to worry about copyright claims. Yeah, I've gotten a copyright claim on the what do you call it? Rambo. I've got a copyright claim on that. Could you imagine getting a copyright claim on Rambo? You know why I got a copyright claim on Rambo? It's only that short section that I used to use. Like the
Yeah.
rest of it, I don't get a copy because that short section is used by this some band or something like that in some stupid unrelated video, and just has that image of him in there, so I get a copyright claim every time I show that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's going to happen again. I mean, that's just the way that they do. These stupid people giving copyright claims over stupid stuff. But of course, here we go. Hunter Biden's family weathers a public and expansive airing in federal court of his drug addiction. Really? And how, I can read this headline. I can tell you almost immediately they're going to say very little about him being a drug addict, lying on federal forms, tossing the gun 11 days later, and it's found by a homeless dude and turned into the police. They'll have very little information on that, but it'll be about Trump and his what do they call? Oh, hush money trial. So how much you want to bet? I mean, this is so predictable of news agencies, because in a span of less than 48 hours this past week, First Lady Jill Biden shuttled from Normandy ceremony marking the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion of France to the front row of Delaware courtroom where Hunter Biden is on a trial in a gun case, and then back to Paris for an elaborate state visit. Here we are again, the First Lady said with a laugh as she and President Biden were greeted by the French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte. As a manifestation of the great, what does this have to do with anything? Back and forth pull of responsibilities. That's just who we are. Every family members wrestles with personal challenges. Yes, but most people don't break the freaking law on federal gun charges.
And drugs and
tax evasion of what over because I went over it. It's over 20 million that the Biden family, the Biden group has made. Oh, it traces everything from Russia money to Ukraine money to, Uganda. And I mean, it is insane the amount of money that these people made in such a short period of time. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, just looking down through all of this show of support, Joe Biden, that all it says is, oh, they're embracing Hunter and so happy. Hunter has not made it easier for his family, and evidence in the case has been a highly personal tour of his mistakes and drug use, like some kind of nightmare version of This Is Your Life. Well, dude, they have to show cause. That's how it goes. Familiar story. Patrick Kennedy, a former congressman, a leading voice on mental health and addiction. What does this have to do with anything? The trial is winding down. The defense is debating whether to call more witnesses on Monday, including the president's brother James. After closing arguments, the case will go to the jury. But Hunter Biden's legal problems will not end here. He faces a separate trial in September in California on charges of failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes. No, we're not talking about 1.4 the taxes on 1.4 million. We're talking about paying $1.4 million in taxes that he didn't pay.
Yep. It's probably more.
And of course, Hunter Biden has argued he's been unfairly targeted by the Justice Department after Republicans decry the now defunct special treatment for the Democrat president's son.
Yeah, he's been treated way better than people who might similarly be situated in his position.
Yeah, and the thing is the Republicans didn't go after this guy. Like, this wasn't a Republican move. This was him breaking the freaking law. Justice Department came in there for this. They were just like, okay, we got to get this taken care of. Hunter Biden's gun trial enters its final stretch after deeply personal testimony about his drug use. And then, of course, we'll scroll down through here because waiting for it to come. It's like Jurors heard emotional and tortured testimony from Hunter Biden's former romantic partners, read personal text messages. They've seen photos of Hunter Biden holding a crack pipe and partly clothed, a video from his phone of crack cocaine weighed on a scale. But did they show you everything? Did they show you everything? That's sort of the question we have here. No, I'm not showing that. Because that has been fake, supposedly fake. I don't know. So a key witness for prosecutors is Bo's widow, Haley, who had a brief troubled relationship with Hunter after his brother died of brain cancer. She found the unloaded gun in Hunter's truck on October 23rd, 2018. Wait a second. So this was before Hunter Biden, or before Joe like ran for president. AMLS. Yeah. Hunter will never go to prison. Neither will Trump in reality. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he hasn't taken the witness stance. Unclear if he will. Well, it behoove him not to. So in 2018, he did that. I didn't want him to hurt himself, and I didn't want my kids to find it and hurt themselves. Okay. From the time Hunter returned to Delaware in 2018 until she threw his gun away, she didn't see him using drugs. Well, doesn't matter, because guess what? We have all that information on a laptop that he dropped off at a computer repair shop, that the guy turned it into the Justice Department, that they called Russian disinformation, leading all the way up until the election. It's amazing how one son can really screw things up, and how our media, our mass media, can call it disinformation, propaganda. Makes you wonder every time that you hear someone say, speaking of disinformation and propaganda, how much of it actually is disinformation and propaganda, and how much of it is true. Makes you wonder. Thank you, AP, for having your AI tools run by far left propagandists and saying that everything else is propaganda unless you hear it here. The defense has suggested Hunter Biden has been trying to turn his life around. He's been trying. Okay. There's no evidence of contemporaneous drug use and gun possession. Doesn't mean that there's no proof of it. Doesn't matter. That the government was able to then find the same type of evidence of his use, that he relapsed with drugs. Hunter Biden's daughters, Naomi, took the stand for the defense Friday, telling jurors about the visiting her father while he was at a California rehab center weeks before he bought the gun. She told jurors that he had seemed hopeful and had been improving, and she told him she was proud of him. But didn't they just say, didn't his ex-fling and his brother's widow say she was worried about him and his drug use? Good morning, Welsh lady. Good to see you. Yes, it does make you wonder. President Joe Biden said last week they would accept the jury's verdict and has ruled out a pardon for his son. I wouldn't. Screw that. It looked as if Hunter Biden would have avoided prosecution in the gun case altogether, but a deal last summer with prosecutors imploded after Judge Marilyn Noriega. What does it have to do with who he was nominated, or she was nominated? Raised concerns about it. Hunter Biden was subsequently indicted on 3 felony gun charges. He also faces a trial scheduled for September, October, November. 2 months he's supposed to go to trial, and how much you want to bet that doesn't get pushed forward till after the election. I would bet that they file something that gets it pushed over until after the election. Same way with all of this stuff with Trump. I would almost bet that doesn't the appeal is already come in, you know. So that is That is what we're talking about there. Interesting. So Trump to undergo probation interview Monday, a required step before his New York sentencing. Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to be interviewed by New York probation officials Monday, required step before his July sentencing in his criminal money case. According to 3 people familiar with the plan, Trump will do an interview via computer video conference from his residence at the Mar-a-Lago, a club in Palm Beach, Florida. The people told the AP they spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to disclose the plans publicly. Oh, I bet there's going to be a lot of people on that Zoom call. One of Trump's lawyers, Todd Blanche, will be present for the interview. People convicted of crimes in New York usually meet with probation officials without their lawyers, but the judge in Trump's case, Juan Merchan, said in a letter Friday that he would allow Blanche's presence. The usual purpose of pre-sentencing probation interview is to prepare a report that will tell the judge more about the defendant. But we already know this judge doesn't like Trump and potentially help determine the... Exactly. Such reports are typically prepared by a probation officer, a social worker, or a psychologist working for the probation department who interviews the defendant and possibly the person's family and friends, as well as people affected by the crime. No one was affected. There was no crime. That's the worst part about it.
Yep.
This is why it's so amazing that the crime that they're charging him with is covering it up. But if there wasn't a crime in the first place, how can there be a cover-up?
Yeah.
That's the worst part about all of this bullshit. And I'm sure that whenever this goes in front of the appeals, that nothing's going to happen.
But it may not even. I mean, it may end up. You saw where supposedly a family member of one of the jurors was posting stuff, and that would result. If that's true, then it's an automatic mistrial.
Yeah.
Because you got a juror who was communicating with other people and saying, "Oh, we're going to convict him. We're going to be a conviction tomorrow."
Yep. Pre-sentence reports included defense's personal history, a criminal record, recommendations. A jury convicted Trump of falsifying business records at his own company as part of a broader scheme to... Well, they convicted him of it. Doesn't mean that he did. They just convicted him of it. And they're saying that this $130,000 payment, which Stormy Daniels even said that...
Which wasn't illegal to begin with anyway.
And that came from Cohen. But they're saying that he cooked the books. The money that came from Cohen, that Cohen paid Stormy Daniels, said, well, they gave me money in exchange for it. That doesn't matter. It does not freaking matter. And because it was a bullshit scam to try to buy money from Trump. They already proven that there was nothing that went on between them. They were paying her just to go the hell away. From everything that I've heard, just like it would be like someone making a false claim against me. And I'm just like, I don't have time for this bull. I'm going to pay you just to go the hell away. What's it going to cost for you just to go away? Because we know this story is BS. Avenatti even agreed with that bullshit. The guy that brought the freaking lawsuit. That also got in trouble for, doing bullshit with Nike. Yeah, several $1 million worth of scams he was pulling. President Trump and his legal team are already taking necessary steps to challenge and defeat the lawless Manhattan DA case. Of course, Merchan has scheduled Trump's sentencing for July 11th. He has discretion to impose a wide range of punishments, ranging from probation and community service up to 4 years in prison. That's it? 4 years in prison for all of this? Crazy, crazy stuff. If they didn't already know it to be true, the New York Supreme Courts wouldn't have passed the info to the judge. I believe this was the plan the whole time. It was election interference.
Yep. But basically, the actual election interference is going on in these trials. That's the interference.
Yes. And They're not done yet. They still have what, 3 more to go?
Yeah.
Like this is just one of them, because they'll be moving on to the next one. And at some point, whenever they get to the next one, people are going to go, this really looks suspicious. Like, you're telling me that Trump has never, ever, ever been in any sort of lawsuit up until the time that he
He never
won,
had any problems up until now.
up until now. All of a sudden, now all of this stuff is happening. Huh. Whenever he's president. Whenever he beat them. Like,
And after he's president.
and after being president. All of a sudden now all this stuff is, oh, all the horrible things that he did. I just, and I think that people are starting to wake up and go, you've got how many different courts are coming after him? Something doesn't smell good in Stinkville. Oh my gosh. It is so crazy that this is the state we're in. This is the state we're in. That they will constantly come after an ex-president, and how long before this next ex-president they don't come after him?
Well, they won't.
Yeah, but they're opening the door for it. Like that pendulum.
Well, I mean, he admitted to breaking the law with withholding funds to Ukraine over them investigating his son's business there.
Yeah.
Unless they fired the prosecutor. That's illegal.
Yeah.
And he admitted to it.
Yeah.
On camera.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that never happened. That's false information. That's misinformation. And that's what you hear. Just like the stuff that happened in Benghazi with Hillary Clinton. Oh, that's misinformation, disinformation, until they show that it's absolutely clear that she torched all her email servers.
Yep.
These email servers that she had set up in her own private residence.
That were unsecured, that it's multiple felonies that any other person would have been thrown in jail already for. You have sailors who accidentally have a picture, they take a picture on their cell phone, and there's something in the background on a nuclear sub, and there's some equipment in the background that is classified, and their asses get prosecuted for accidentally.
Oh yeah.
Unlike her, with intentionally having unclassified, having unsecure servers with classified information on them. It's ridiculous.
Yes, this is very true. That is it. They hate not being able to control Trump. I know that is the worst part about it.
He's not beholden to them. He doesn't need their money. Florida
Senator Rick Scott says he'll vote against recreational pot after brother's death. Oh, I didn't know pot killed.
Yes. He was schizophrenic.
I don't know.
Because it has been linked to schizophrenia. So
has it? It makes you schizophrenic?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Especially in young adults, teenagers, it has been linked to schizophrenia.
Oh man. So it looks like we got a bot in here. Let me go ahead and get this guy really quick. Don't you pay any attention to that bot? Anybody, you see that bot there? Do not pay attention to it.
I see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna log in here to.
You're special. You get bots.
Yeah, I'm special.
I've got the sex bot once.
Well, and I've got those people banned in here. So normally I don't get any of this stuff. So I'm going to go after this guy really quick. And where did he go? Well, it looks like someone already got him. And
gotcha,
no, that's over on Rumble. That's why it's over on Rumble. Don't. Yeah, you guys can't see it, but I can see it over on Rumble. And I've got to go over there and deal with it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Quick. Yeah, you can see
Rumble.
it because
I see the little green triangle now.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was just like, why is it? Oh, that's why. Let me go in here and deal with this guy really quick. And let's see, where is my thing here? I'll have to mute it. There we go. And we are going to, let's see, forever. There we go. removed forever. Yeah, this is what came popping up on my thing. So they're muted forever. They're done. And I wonder if I can do it. No. One day I'll figure out how the Rumble stuff works. But today, no such luck. They're gone forever now. Because that's how I am. Okay. I liked removing these bots. They make my day. They make my day just to destroy every bit of their lives. Oh my gosh, what do we got here?
Yeah, I guess Reese is having a problem with YouTube chat. Yeah, it happens to me. If I'm on my phone, it'll do that. It'll randomly just stop, like keeping up with chat. And so I have to close. I just basically what works for me is I just close out of the chat and pull chat back up, and it starts working again. But
yeah, I've had to do
it a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
When it does it happens constant.
Yes. Streambots are supposed to auto catch them. Yeah, that was for that was on the Rumble side. That's why I didn't pick it up. I get a lot of those that come across on the Rumble side where it's like, you want us to make you a better influencer, pay us money, and I'm just like, go bite me. I was like, where were you whenever I first started? You weren't helping me a damn bit. Why would I pay you money now? Like, I seem to be doing okay on my own, assholes. But your reach could be so much broader. Like, what you want me to pay for some bots in like Russia or India or some crap like that? Yeah. Whenever you see someone's numbers,
you wouldn't be
all
the
of
first.
a sudden, when you see someone's numbers like jump in India, if they're not like streaming goats or something, some crap like that, most likely is because they're paying for their subs. Just saying. Because it just doesn't happen like that. Like I can look and I probably like have maybe 0.1% that comes from India.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, oh no, all of a sudden I got all these views from India. Oh yeah, that is somebody that's paying for their shit. Yeah, your views, all of a sudden you're getting like 1,000 views on and they're coming from India, but you only have like 10 or 15 people that ever show up in chat. Yeah, it's definitely one of those Russian. Yeah. Russian bride. Yeah, the Russian brides need that kind of money. What is that? StreamYard seems more geared for conversation and guest streams. Absolutely. Whereas, with StreamYard, what really happens is you can interact with your chat a lot more than you're able to on the other thing, especially whenever you do something where you have 4, 5, 6 guests. You really have to, but it on the bad side of that is if I'm trying to do a game, like streaming a game, StreamYard is absolutely the worst. It uses up so much resources that the game gets all jittery and looks horrible. So, but I've got ways around that. We have ways now. So I'm actually think I'll do one of those on Wednesday, possibly. Yeah. Sounds like an utter disappointment. Sounds like an absolutely utter disappointment. Yes, spending money on boosting your channel is just and it's just it never works out well for you. Just saying, it never works out well. Because it's so obvious that people don't even want to be around you whenever you do that kind of crap. You have to bounce. Oh, you can bounce as much as you like, Corn Pope. It is so good to see you. I hope that you're doing really well. And I'm here every morning.
Good to see you, Corn Pope.
Throughout the week, and then of course I'm here most nights too. You can always come by. And if you don't like the story, you can always she's like ha ha. She can bounce as much as she likes. Yes, finding organic growth is always better. Always found that yeah. And I've I will tell you it's one of those where it feels more satisfying too. I mean,
organics are very satisfying.
Yes, just like having Corn Pope come show up. Very, very satisfying. Oh my God. Like whenever Roger Scott died in April at 67, that's not too bad. like I was talking with my wife last night. Her grandfather that she never met passed at 56 from heart failure. Like it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy that
My
he
dad's dad died. I think he died at like 62. He died the year before I was born from heart attack, cutting the grass. So
well,
can imagine what's always in the back of my mind when I cut the grass.
Well, and
Today my lucky day.
Well, he was having a heart attack and he couldn't speak. Whatever was causing because they asked him how many times this had happened. He held up his hand. It was the fourth one that got him. So it had happened 3 times beforehand. He had the same issue. So he had multiple heart attacks, not maybe back to back, but yeah, he wasn't on any sort of medication or anything like that. And it was his local doctor. Like it was crazy. Hey, Kaiser. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Kaiser and I we had a nice talk last night about some of the stuff that he's been working on. It's going to be really good. You ought to check some of that stuff out. He's bringing out them there.
Well, he's got to have some Disney and Star Wars stuff coming in the pipeline.
Oh, he does. He told me a little bit about it, but I can't disclose any of it. That's all for Kaiser.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do a stream on the new Tiana's Adventure or whatever that replaced Splash Mountain because it's so bad. They took their most popular ride worldwide. It just took a massive dog shit on it.
Oh. Captain Karen says his pops died at 54 of a massive heart attack. However, he was a 650 pounds asshole. So good riddance. Yeah, I mean, I think there's always room for redemption, except for those that cannot be redeemable. Sorry, I'm so bad. Scott's no vote on marijuana falls in line with other state and national Republicans who question whether marijuana leads to using other riskier. Now, this whole gateway drug thing.
It actually does. It is.
I don't know. I don't know.
I've known plenty of people who started dabbling with that, and the next thing you know, they're doing other stuff. I don't think that is a cause of it, because I know plenty of people that's all they do is weed, and they've never gone on beyond that. I think that's a lame excuse. But has the opportunity been there for them to move on to something else?
Yeah, but they would have moved on to something else besides that. Like they just had that personality that was going to do it no matter what. Like if it wasn't the weed, it would be the alcohol, or just, they'd be out one night hanging out with friends and start doing, a little bit of the Colombian booger sugar. Just saying that I've known plenty of people that's all they've ever done their entire life, and that's that they don't dabble in anything else. And I've known other people that have gone from smoking the devil's lettuce to hitting the pipe that might be on someone's butt crack kind of thing. Just saying.
Kaiser, yes. The
alcohol is
review.
Alcohol is a gateway drug if there is one. Blaming weed is BS. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Iron Rabbit. So good to see you. So good to see you.
Yeah, sugar is a game. Sugar's worse than a lot of stuff.
Actually, coffee's worse. One of the worst. It is highly addictive. Caffeine, very highly addictive drug.
Oh yeah.
Scott opposes this change alongside Florida's Republican Party, which formally announces opposition in early May. They contend the amendment would benefit powerful marijuana special interests while putting children at risk and endangering Florida's family-friendly business and tourism climates. The amendment sponsors Smart and Safe Florida. Oh, what? I wonder who Smart and Safe Florida is. I wonder who they are. And I'm going to do a Google search for them here in a minute, because I like to know who's making up this bull. Voters approved the medical marijuana when Scott was governor, but Scott and the legislature placed tight restrictions on its use, including banning smokable Mary Jane. Cannabis advocates then sued, and a court agreed to allow smokable medical marijuanas just before Scott left office. His successor, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, chose not to appeal. All right, let's see what this is. This particular smart and safe supposed to be, don't care, look, all kinds of ads. Myths and facts, smart and safe Florida. All right, share this tab instead. It says if the proposed constitutional amendment league-wise is approved, it will prohibit the state legislature from regulating time, place, manner. The amendment does not forbid Florida's legislature from regulating it. Okay. If the proposed amendment were adopted, crime would increase in Florida. Well, legalization always leads to decreased rates in gangs committing violent crimes. See, now these are just bullshit things. Because, here's the thing. Florida, as much as they like to be the stronghold of what they call it, this Republicans conservative kind of thing, Miami still doesn't report all of their crimes. Like your major cities that are Democrat cities, New York, California, Los Angeles, Chicago, they stopped reporting.
Or they report that certain people are not the ethnicity that they actually are.
Right. So the crime looks like
statistics.
And it still shows that we have an 11% increase. And you could have fooled me that we have an 11% increase and that's eliminating just those 4 cities. And there's 11. What about if they were reporting them? Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Do what iRapid does. Touch grass. Hello, everyone. What is that? Not my thing, but that's also my choice.
The pot.
Is the weed? Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I don't care. I really don't.
I can't stand. I mean, it's everywhere in Oklahoma. Like, and it's medical. But there's dispensaries on every damn street corner, literally. And you can tell when the people show up. There's a couple that shows up to Taekwondo to pick their kids up. Like walking in, you can tell when they're there.
Oh yeah.
Walking out of Sam's the other day, somebody pulled up and parked in the handicap spot, and I about choked walking by. And their windows were up, and about killed me. Is how bad it smelled. Just the skunk hit me just punched me right in the face.
You're just like, oh,
like
dude,
really? Which that's illegal. You can't drive while you're smoking.
Yeah, it's you're not supposed to. It would be
DUI.
Yeah. Driving under the influence of narcotics or alcohol is not just because you've been drinking, is for any sort of drugs, any sort of drugs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you have
it can be a prescription pain medication.
Yep.
If you're driving to where you're inhibited and impaired, you can still get hit.
Yep. Oh yeah. In a damn heartbeat. Good morning, King Paco. It is wonderful to see you, all of you wonderful folks. I have changed up my format just a slight bit because I've been working on I'm working on getting a little bit more exercise in the mornings. And this is the time of day where I end the stream. I'm going to send all you fine folks over to go see Mo, and I will tell you what, we will have. Oh, I love my wife. We have some wonderful stuff that's coming up this week. Tonight I've got something new that I've been working on, and I'm going to have hopefully the wonderful Mo, if she's able to make it tonight, on for that. And everybody, until you see me tonight, and that's the thing. That's sort of what we do. We send you guys over to Mo because we know that Mo is going to send you guys over to Baker afterwards. So make sure that where you show up, you hit the like button on your way out. Hit the like button. Just whenever you get there, just if you're not subscribed, hit the little ding bell and all that kind of stuff. Or just hit me up late at night. You'll see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Everybody have a wonderful evening or day, morning, whatever you're doing. Do it well, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car.
And also make sure that you subscribe to MG, because you know he's usually streaming at like midnight. Like, where else are you gonna go? Where else are you gonna go? MG, anything you want to say?
Well, I guess tonight, if the stream from the Clayton Eckerd trial is, I think, who is it? Lauren 90's supposed to be streaming that today. Then
Yeah.
I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah,
If it's there and I can stream it, I'll watch it.
absolutely.
If it's not there,
Yeah.
then we'll find something else to do.
Oh, we'll find something. We'll find something.
It's
Everybody,
gonna be a long day for me because I've still got an hour and a half plus to get to court. I have court at 9:30, and then I have court in a completely different county, hundreds of miles away at 1:30. So it's gonna be a long ass day. So
yeah,
I might just go home and crash. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, do what you need to do, brother. You know, send me an invite if something comes up, and if I'm able to
Certainly.
make it.
I haven't
will.
streamed the last 2 nights just because I needed sleep.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah, I streamed yesterday, but before then, I was like, after Friday, man, I blame the.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.